Hi guys, sorry about that. Phantom, isn't that a brand? Nice, guys. Just made it. Oh wait, shit, did we get in somehow? Are we somehow in the server? Did we snipe it? Guys, we might have sniped it. If we sniped it, that's kind of wild. Wait, I have, hold on, wait a second. Yeah, no, I don't know. Oh, maybe we didn't snipe the prio. A random prio, come on, please. And also, please don't end my stream again. Sorry. Glenn? This is the worst day of my life. I love Glenn. This is the worst day of my life. Wow, I took the British spelling? Wild. Damn it. Guys, someone tell Jenkins that his fix didn't work this time. I tried switching the USBs, but my face cam still isn't working. I don't think it's gonna work. I don't know if it's an OBS issue or just my webcam. Because it happens sometimes. Oh my god. You guys see this? You guys see this shit? Is it a basic webcam? Yeah, it's super basic. I think I got it from, I think it was like my dad's for work or something, and he gave it to me because he uses his laptop. Okay, I think the O is probably fake. Rather. Guys, we do gotta get back into the server though at some point. I wish there was a way to pause this game. I guess not. I guess that would be cheating. Sorry. I got another double R one. Okay, the S is fake. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, guys. I'll be right back. Can you guys stop being so good at this game so we can roleplay? Hi, Broxy. Come on, I need to, like, actually, I need to roleplay you guys, but I'm not stopping, obviously, until we lose, but you guys keep winning. It's like you don't want me to roleplay. Guys, sometimes I feel like you're just here for the words on stream. What's the meme that's like that? Oh, it's the zipline one. I actually think you might just be here for the zipline. Chat, sometimes I feel like you're actually just here for words on stream. You left roleplay early to just go play words on stream. Oinyong. That's what it looks like, is there? I'm here for Leah. Leah ain't here right now. Leah can't come to the phone right now. Come on, don't get any points. No more points, no more points, no more points, no more points. Hobat, stop it! Stop it! No points. Gay. That was not related, I just needed to say it. Anyong. Anyong. It's nyong. Yes, okay, thank you guys. Onicon. Ah, we lost, that's terrible. Anyway. Fuck, that's not my last location, god damn it. Why the hell am I at Red Garage? Definitely didn't throw on purpose. Oh no. Uh-oh, why am I dying? Guys, surely I'll get there really, really fast if I just jump the whole way. Intrusive thoughts. Yeah, yeah. Real. No, I think it's because I didn't leave the... I think if I leave the server, it works. But I think if I let it, like, go to Tsunami without actually leaving, then it's like, actually, fuck you.
Let's move! Please, someone!
I'll get there so fast, you guys. I'm gonna be the fastest anyone's ever gotten anywhere. Is this any faster? Oh, thank you. That's my legs. Fuck! God damn it!
Is this really happening?
Well. Damn. Wish you guys could see my face right now, but my face cam's not working. Not faster this way. Oopsies. Help. Gravity ain't that big a thing for us, okay? I ain't no I ain't no LT custard. I'm pretty good with gravity. We've survived from really, really high heights for some reason.
Hey, remember me? It's Mama.
Mama ate the Jamimi? Is that you? You look a little different. Put on some weight. God damn. Help! 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 From what I just saw. Hey. Help! Guys. What the heck? Help! This is what I get for wanting to commit treason. I only wanted to do a little bit. Ow! Help! Definitely didn't hear that. Yeah, no, I'm for sure taking local EMS. Just a teensy bit of treason as a treat. Guys, repeat with me. It's not treason if the dictator is tyrannical. Then it's just fighting oppression. Diet treason. I mean, it's 30 minutes after storm. And I'm pretty sure EMS get in on their own prio, so. But I'm not gonna do like a slash 911A. But you know, the good part is that when we take local EMS, we won't remember what happened, so naturally we'll just do the same thing again. Because we won't remember that it's a bad idea. Jackal, since daylight savings. I know, it's really annoying. It was so much nicer when it was at 2. Oh. US-based servers, real. Yeah, it's a good thing we didn't call EMS. There's no EMS. At the very least, we can get back to the apartments. And then from the apartments, we can get the car. Help! Oh.
Are you okay?
I'm alright. I'm not alright. I'm alright. I gotta go. Ow.
This ain't happening.
What's up with the jumping? Forehead gave us some jump boots. And we've been having fun with them. Now we can jump onto things, we just can't jump off of them. Oh, uh-oh. Ow. Oh no, my arm. Ow. What the fuck? God damn it! I didn't think that was that far of a jump. Oh. Okay, guys, another 5 minutes. Guys, if anyone asked, we'll just say that we did the help while we were falling, just because that would be really funny. I know that's not what happened, but that would have been so funny. We just go, I don't want help. God damn it. Can't respond because now I'm on the ground. Hopefully the lack of response indicates EMS. Damn, if I were dispatch, I could just 13 Bravo, but unfortunately. Well, I guess either would work. So if neither police or EMS show up, then that'll be sad. I'll be sad about that. Help. 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 Do you guys think they would have been more or less likely to show up if I didn't anonymous it? I actually didn't mean to anonymous it. But I don't know if that would have made them less likely to show up if it was the princess saying it. Oh, there's the princess again. Less likely if I was anonymous? Because I feel like it's not just whether they like me or not, it's like if the princess is involved, it's some dumb shit. And I don't know if they want to show up for dumb shit when there's maybe real shit happening. God damn it.
SBS, as they say. Yes, as it is said. So it must be. Or something.
Damn, we could have done a whole new Words with Friends. Words on stream there. Yeah, I guess. But if you're already down, you tend to anonymous anyway and just like pretend you're a local. So it could just be people being stupid. It is too late. Yeah, bro. Through for no reason. We're not doing it in 30 seconds. You guys are better than that. Guys, it's been 40 minutes since Storm. We have missed out on 40 minutes of this conversation between falling off of things, laying on the ground, and having no prio. Probably exactly an equal amount of each.
Wow, so good to wake up here after storm. Time to go jumping. And nothing bad will happen. Because why would it? Never happened before, never will happen again.
Well, knowing Nino, they're still talking.
Hello, sir. Will you please save my life?
From what?
Myself. I have to get somewhere, and I'm wearing boots that let me jump very high, and if I try to get to the place, I shall cause danger to myself.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's a lot nicer than I thought what you were gonna say was.
Oh no, I keep jumping really far and then falling really far and then ending up right back where I started. Which is there.
Fair enough. Where would you like to go?
It depends. If you're able to take me to the casino, the one near Mirror Park, that'll be fantastic. But if not, the apartments work.
I'll take you to the casino.
Thank you so much. It's very kind of you.
Yeah, no problem.
No, I probably should have asked someone the first time instead of jumping and falling repeatedly.
Yeah,
It's
very
taken a
bad to
lot
jump
of
off
my
the back
time.
Like that. You hurt yourself. Here you go, in the parking lot and in the front.
This is perfect. Thank you so much.
No problem. Have a great day, princess.
You too. A toodaloo.
So... Why do I take damage from it? God damn it. My ribs are broken.
Ow!
Ow.
A lot of names that are gonna be popping up. Let's go this way. Not because of you, princess, but
What?
because if you did that, someone else can do that. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's a good point. I don't know, it took me so long to get here because I kept trying to get here and suddenly I would end up back in the hospital. That's crazy.
Because it can't be me. I have a decent amount of pull with a lot of different groups, but I don't have that much pull to get that much.
Nobody in this office has the right amount of pull.
Yeah.
What kind of... what do we need?
I appreciate you, princess, but that's probably unlikely as well.
You think?
Yes.
Alright.
I may reconsider, but it is, unless we're looking to fool ourselves. These last elections were huge. This one is going to be big as well. It needs to be somebody that you see on there, and it's just by the name. That's how I fucking got elected multiple times. You know what I mean?
Guys,
The sad,
we don't think that's me?
reality of how the election system works.
Are we gonna write the document to put in the meanwhile while
guys, I feel like
there's not
maybe I
any
have that
county
kind
to
of pull.
put the Sama and Los Santos
Not gonna really
county
not gonna
representative
jinx
there?
it. Not gonna
That's a
say
good
anything
point.
crazy, but I feel
I think
like
maybe that's where we, like, let's do this. Have this in
if
the back
someone
of our
has that
mind,
kind of pull,
right now, like wait a minute.
I don't know.
Because here's the thing, we can put it that the decision.
I don't think Nino knows how much
unanimous
pull the
between
princess has.
both of them, as if like this is like, oh, of course, this is not just one person having a lot of power. At the end of the day, you and I are gonna have unanimous voting, no matter what. Just makes it look like it's more legit.
True. I agree with you.
I don't mean to dip out, guys, but I do gotta go. I will catch up with everyone tomorrow.
You take care.
Have a good night, guys.
Are they talking about putting a puppet mayor in office?
Let's refocus.
I would like to put an option out there. This could be a backup option, but and
This is a good time for, where is it?
a situation where we don't find somebody. I could throw my hat in the ring.
Who are you?
I'm a former judge. I have a leg to stand on, and
Wait,
I
who
will
is
say
that,
in
guys?
the election that I was elected to the judiciary, I beat Kyle Pratt.
That
Wait, is it weight
Actually,
11?
I had not considered, and
I had the most
honestly,
votes.
Isn't it weight 11?
is actually an amazing idea, because right now we're dealing with, oh my god, that actually may be the best choice.
I genuinely don't know who that is.
I also have the Kavita. I'm
A lot of people
technically
know you.
They do, and I'm technically
Guys, who
not
is he?
part of the cabinet, but I am.
Do you have keys?
No.
Oh my god.
That's the wrong Michael.
Yeah,
I don't think they realize.
agreed.
I'm not trying to say that I would be a shoo-in
Let's
for
give this
mayor, but
24
I
hours,
feel
but
like
I
he
think
wouldn't.
that genuinely is the best backup. You've been in the city for God knows how long. I think every fucking group knows your name.
Yeah, in some form
Guys,
or
who is
fashion
he?
or another.
Who is he?
If they don't remember, they will.
Serenade. That's who
And
it is.
That is.
I never heard his. I
That's
just knew his name.
really- That's actually really good. Especially with the kind of battles that we've been dealing with right now. And I'm gonna say it this way, is like I don't know
God,
how the
Hobat.
fuck if I didn't have a, if I didn't practice law as long as I had been, I would have been out probably week 1. This is
That's
what
true, Phantom, but
everyone
I feel
who's
like
been
also I would
having
still
to
do it.
battle this entire time is having to go in a room with people that barely know the law, and you have to argue with them on it.
I think that that's what they're talking about.
I don't know how a mayor can be an executive. How the mayor in tomorrow can be anyone but someone that has a strong legal background. Otherwise, the
No, they're
DOJ is
talking
gonna
about-
chew you up like a plaything.
They're talking about who
They
gets
already
to
have.
be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so they're not talking about election. They're talking about an appointment by the justices. I think.
Let's revisit this tomorrow. This particular notion, just so we have enough time to kind of chew on it. But in terms of the immediate, I do think that for the sanctity of San Andreas, we need to figure out how we're going to approach.
Well, yeah, I think they have to put someone forward to act as
What's happening
mayor
in front of us.
while Kyle is not
And-
allowed.
I know Tony, Princess, Dr. Naya, you may not have been here when I brought this up, so I want to bring it up again so you're aware. Is all we're asking for was receipts and like a process, right?
This
They
is
should
true.
have simply went and put up something on the docket and said, we are saying
The sanctity
he
of
is
San
no longer
Andreas.
the mayor's signature.
Yep.
Or we're doing an impeachment hearing tomorrow based on this. But instead they said, nah, even though we have all these processes defined, nothing says we have to use them. So we're going to skip that. So now we have to counter it. And I think it's kind of insane that they're talking about an emergency election before anyone can verify the veracity of their decision.
Yep.
They're trying to shift the focus immediately.
And most people don't even understand that Pratt is actually gone.
Was even allowed to run for that emergency election? Because wouldn't they just go back to whoever ran? Because isn't this just my fear is they're just gonna go back to Eve Summers.
According to the
They-
justices, they can choose between former cabinet members or anyone who ran against Kyle in the original election.
Yeah, and that sounded like they just want to
Oh,
shoehorn
so
Eve Summers in.
That's
That was the
definitely what they're gonna
judges.
do.
Oh,
I
yes,
don't-
absolutely.
I don't think that was the justices, but that was 2 of the judges.
All right.
But that's conflicting with the tweet that got sent out
And well,
that said,
to be
"Get your
clear, though,
applications ready."
Well,
The-
she
the-
said if Pratt wants people to get their applications ready for DOJ, I'm telling people that to get their applications ready for Blaine County.
Yes, it was a
she
response.
was trolling.
She was
Kind
kind
of.
of trolling, but not
much as
really,
Kyle
right?
was,
She
which
was
was
trolling
not.
about applications, but being truthful about elections. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
what she
that
said in the
okay,
car.
so but the tweet wasn't like it's happening right now. That actually
No, that tweet
okay.
was fuck you, Pratt, I can play the same game. Because I'm petty. And bored.
So are we submitting to the fact that they decided there's no impeachment hearing and that's all right?
No. Sorry. The princess. The reason why we're talking about another candidate is this is what we were talking about before, is that we need to assume the worst case and be prepared for the worst case, which is a new election, right?
Right.
Because if we get predlocked like the DOJ likes to do,
Right.
then we're not going to be prepared if this fails.
So are you putting Saren in as for Blaine County? I assume the emergency elections will be purely for Blaine County.
Where I think we
Yes.
moved past that. I think that's like a topic that, like,
it may
we
happen,
brief.
but
It
Yeah.
needs some time to stew.
Wait, no, I'm confused. I didn't answer. Are you saying the emergency election, which may or may not be held, if it is, and Kyle is no longer able to be mayor of Blaine County, you are saying your candidate of choice is Sarah Lake?
We
Rather
haven't
than-
gone that far.
Oh, well, but that's what you were talking about, as opposed to, it's not going to be, Kyle needs emergency election, therefore we're going to put both mayors up for election? You're still good for the rest of your tenure, correct?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
right.
yes. Oh, sorry, I misunderstood.
Right.
Yes.
That's why I was questioning whether you were putting someone for a Blaine County mayor. And again, that's also something that, of course, Kyle will probably want to, be there for. But yes, that's all I was asking.
Yeah, no, Nino's good.
You
He's,
thought,
he's
yeah,
still
I'm not
mayor.
leaving. I'm not
Right.
leaving, no. Actually, I haven't decided yet, to be honest.
Is there a term limit?
I feel like, well, I'm afraid that I'm gonna get so much brain damage that over the next remaining 2 months, I do have to consider my own health. to a
My
degree.
no offense, Nino, I'm genuinely surprised your hair hasn't turned gray.
I'm gonna be honest. I play a lot of Deadlock in the evenings, and now I'm dealing with playing with people from like Russia who are like screaming in Russian and broken English, and because the state of MMR has gotten so bad in matchmaking, that
That's
when I
'cause of
get
all the
into the
heals.
city, it's like I can deal with anything. You know what I mean? So
I have no
I-
idea
I'm-
what anything you said means, but I respect it, and I'm happy for you.
Exactly. Good, good, good.
You ever heard of League of Legends?
Nope.
Oh,
Is this another movie thing?
Yeah,
I've not seen
No.
those.
it's kind of like, and I'm not even kidding. Like, I genuinely have to do I have an activity late at night that pisses me off more than anything. Princess, before I used to work for a lot of companies back in the day where I was dealing with I owned a biotech company that I
Alright.
managed, and there was let's just say 350 engineers across a lot of areas.
Goodness.
And I had to tell them how to do this shit. And the thing about engineers they're a special kind of person. They're very similar to people in San Andreas, except they can program. And so sometimes I'd have to get into these
No social skills.
shut the fuck up and just do it, all right, because I'm telling you to, sort of things. And sometimes that would get into very heated. I was born and bred in this stuff, is what I'm trying to say.
Alright. Makes sense. You're good at it.
I have learned to have a lot of more patience than I may show at times.
You know,
I also
I've
learned
recommended
PR.
this
You
before,
see
and
that?
I'll recommend it again. Having a lot of patience can easily be replaced by having a guillotine. Just saying.
I've
This
used to
is
use one of those.
Very
trust me.
French of you.
Well, it's a good method. Very clean.
I actually
Hands off.
had Pred executed back in the day. He used to
Really?
chase me for 2
You didn't do very well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Pred used to not be crazy.
Oh, really? You took the same
This is
part
not
out of him?
true.
Well, I don't know, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. He never
is
was
not-
able to catch me, and then the next thing that happened was he started dumping, fucking people into the ocean. I think what happened was well, if I can't catch him, no one's gonna catch me. And then it just all went sideways.
You die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Or I suppose the opposite
Before
for
there was
you.
Predlock, there was Nino Lock, and he was the one that was Nino Lock.
That
believe it or
doesn't
not.
that doesn't really roll off the tongue the same way, but we'll workshop it.
Anyways.
Okay. Okay, so let me so mayor candidate is a thing for later. In the meantime, you're gonna be submitting that law from the man in the cowboy hat that I don't know who that was. The
Ajax?
impeachment for Angel. Ajax, okay, nice. I've never seen him in person before, only on phone. Impeachment for Angel. What else? Are you gonna put something for interim mayor or?
Well, I think that's where we should. Let's. I think we have to figure out what we're gonna do in the next 48 hours.
Okay. Yes.
And can I just take a minute? I'm gonna think about some water real quick.
How dare you?
We got a lot of work ahead of us.
We sure do.
Well, I'm glad you guys are taking the legal route because my brain was churning over treason.
Yeah.
Obviously, purely as intrusive thoughts, you know, you never act on them. But I kept repeating to myself the mantra, my arms are for frolicking, not for raising in violence.
See, that's a good mindset to have.
And also, a coup is a thing that pigeons do, not a thing that princesses do.
Well, not yet. Not with that attitude.
Oh my God, I cook.
Okay,
cooked?
there we go.
Well, you shouldn't cook water. Don't
he
cook
just
the
needed
water.
Judges are conflicted.
True. Appointed
Hart
by, yes.
Also agreed to that. We're gonna file
This is true.
impeachment papers specifically over his removal. And we already got angels. As a consequence, they can't hold elections.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, because how can we trust you to hold
Wait,
elections when
wait.
everybody's being impeached?
It would be articles of impeachment against the justices and then a writ of prohibition for all three of the justices.
Yep. And the judges.
Yeah.
Arcadia, the other person.
Falconer.
Yep.
Yeah, because otherwise they'll just make the fucking justices and be like, oh, now they can hold elections. Yeah, you kind of have to do it for everybody.
Do
because
we know of any other judges that were directly involved or even present?
Everyone.
Except for
They
Alabaster Slim.
Alabaster
Well-
Slim and Nathaniel Grayson. I'm assuming because Grayson
Yes,
was
he's a
supposed
good
to
one.
be in and out this week, and I don't think I saw his name earlier this morning when it happened.
What was said in that meeting was that when Hallow and Hart was there, that all the judges agreed on this. That's what Hollow said.
I have nothing to
And go
back
here
up
as
this
scorchers
statement
to bury them
other
in
than
legal work for this.
history. I
Oh, but
feel
unfortunately,
confident in saying
burying them in legal
100%
work also requires burying us
that
in legal
Grayson did
work, which
not
means
agree.
that everything ends up getting filibustered
Nope,
again and
'cause
nothing happens.
That's how I know he wasn't here.
I think this is. Can we look up on staff all the judges?
Grayson is around. Do we want to talk to him?
No,
we don't want to. We don't want to
intentionally. We don't conflict them.
So no, I meant
Go ahead.
not trying to like conflict him, but I guess test the waters. Yeah, I'm not trying to say bring.
You can't
him
test the
into
waters. You already
everything
cooked the
and
water.
Because that would not work.
I'm with you. I'm afraid of even being spotted with him while we're about to do this. Because
or even just calling him. Yeah.
Exactly. I wouldn't even call him.
Can't.
It's because we are operating under a
Yeah, that's true. But also, I don't actually think that he would get impeached.
Without procedure, without anything written, and based on
I think it would be very
speculation.
easy for him to get a felony diversion or
I wish you guys had heard some
not
of
get
the
impeached based
conversations
on
we had in
the
there.
idea that the appeal is going to happen.
90% of what was coming out of Hart's mouth.
And when the appeal happens, like they'd have to
judgment based on
postpone the impeachment
assumptions.
until the appeal.
Like it was crazy.
Then the appeal will prove him innocent because they'll just say that Leah
so
Strong
my
told
fear
him
is
that it was okay.
Him
And then the
being here,
impeachment
there
doesn't
being a phone
work.
call, someone's like, oh, like whatever, and now he's in trouble. You know what I mean?
He could literally be at the city hall talking to Arcadia, and he's like, "Oh, hold on, Nino's calling me." Done. Conflicted. If you have such deep faith and belief that he's not, and we don't want him to be conflicted because we think he would be reasonable about this, then we just don't fight for impeachment for him.
There's no other person who sat on the bench that I believe would be more reasonable.
Yes, I think he is quite reasonable.
Perfect.
He was willing to risk his
Because
job
of the
to
diversion of
testify for
funds
it.
while under court. Right,
So-
but Horseshoebat,
What about
the
other
diversion of funds
judge? Who was the other one you guys
was
said that might
the
not be
reason why he was found guilty is
Alabaster
because they couldn't
Sun.
confirm or deny whether the treasurer Leah Strong told him that he could do it or not. And
I don't think that's gonna happen.
No.
Yeah.
Who's
if
that?
Leah Strong is called as
He
a
hasn't been
witness
around
and said
for a while.
yes,
I don't think he can take it.
Probably not.
then that'll get thrown
So,
out.
What we have right now
Or if
is
not,
the
he can
word
get
of
a felony
justice
diversion,
saying that all
because it was only
judges
one felony and not violent.
were in agreement.
And hell,
and
I got
all
a felony
lawyers are
diversion for
saying,
4
so
violent
why don't we
felonies,
fight
so-
with everybody but Grayson.
They'll have to take whatever new mayor thing they tried to empower to step down.
I mean, it's also like I don't know who to believe because they flaunted it. The
Wait,
second they
Phantom,
walked
say
out of
that?
Chambers with
Hold on.
Cassidy
They
and
will have to
Ventura.
take
She was basically saying like this has been
whatever
okay,
new mayor
like, her
thing they
doctor was
tried to
defending
empower
it.
to step down.
Out of Arcadia's mouth, she said we emailed the justices.
I don't get it.
You know, we got the
What does that
okay from
mean?
Them, and then she just puts it on their plate as far as the.
I mean, Coyle was around today.
as far as like
But
responsibility.
for something like this,
it's
yeah,
on
I
their
can
plate now,
see
they
why
said,
you'd
okay.
want why people would want
Yeah,
admins
just
to be
use it
involved.
for-
crazy because
Um,
Hallow said he abstained on purpose. Angel asked for impeachment.
So yeah, so
And
the justices
fucking
are
Hart
trying to
wasn't
say
even
we
awake,
need a new election.
So
However,
none
I
of
think
the
it's more
justices
likely that the
were-
justices
They
will.
didn't even understand.
or
what
it was a
happening
judge who said
when
that.
we got to them.
Yeah,
They kind of were
Audio back.
figuring out as we were.
It was a.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I don't know
I
if the
wanted
election
to
is a
kill them both.
server-based process.
Like
I could tell.
every time Hallow was like crying about what his woes, like every time he'd bring it up, there was a pain that went through my entire body, thinking about how much work this circle has done, and how this man, who's probably actively doing
You vote
something
in
on his
server.
cell phone, is annoyed.
Yeah, you vote in server in
Yeah.
the courthouse.
I mean, he wasn't active at all in the conversation for the last 34 minutes before he left.
You know, you should have told
was
me
a
that
red
Ember
flag.
was there with the Molotov.
Oh
I don't
my
think that
God.
would have been helpful.
It's annoying too because like I don't want to be upset at folks, but it's just like you know what it feels like.
Disrespectful.
Sorry, Kat, we didn't mean to
It's
summon
so
you.
Disrespectful.
We meant
that
Phantom
I
meant
wanna
the
be so nasty,
the admins
but
of
I'm
the
not,
server.
You know what I mean? But there's
I'm
that
sorry.
feeling of like I have to hold back.
I'm sorry you got summoned.
Countless nights, countless like having to do what we're doing right now. Because
So
while
many
we're
people.
begging for just a little bit of semblance of like respect. Not just for us, but the people that we represent.
It seems to me like, you know, even if we don't like the rules or the people, at least if they follow their own rules, then things are all right. But they don't follow their own rules, they just make things up.
After this entire bullshit where they were literally told you have to put rules into place.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
By
don't
the
get it.
governor. Mm-hmm. Oh, not only that, but then the governor literally suggests we do the council route, and then when we do the council route, she's like, "Yeah, nah."
When she said that the counselor said that the UPD exists or whatever the fuck she did, like I realized she was checked out.
Did it for the funny.
Love you, Kat. Always good to see you.
Was I tripping? Did he like really come out and didn't he say a bunch of things that doesn't exist? And I guess you could kind of say the UPD is like all these things. I guess you could maybe do it, but it was such like an afterthought of like if you stretched it, it could mean this.
Yeah, I'm
And he
tired.
then tried to gaslight us into thinking that he literally stood there and said the UPD is real.
I was only gonna stream until like 10.
He was
No, it's 2
basically
a.m.
saying that if you look hard
Mwah,
enough, you can
cat.
make any law sound like whatever you want.
Exactly.
I
That's
they
Which
made
is
the
why
argument.
when we
Well, no,
bring
felony diversion doesn't
specific
work.
cases, he would go,
Legislation
I
says
would
in good
have to
standing,
read
which
up
he
on the
isn't.
legislation.
Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
I am so glad you were there, Dr. Naya.
Is irrelevant.
That's right. I might not talk a lot, but that's what I'm here for.
That's true, but I do think so. Maybe a felony diversion wouldn't work.
Oh my God. Okay.
But
I think
but if it gets appealed,
I think we need
then
to go and
let's see. If it gets appealed
let's
and it's successful in getting appealed, then
I
he's
think we
fine and
do
doesn't
want
have a
to
felony
impeach
and didn't have one ever. If
everybody
it doesn't
that
work,
was-
then I imagine the next step will
Can I
be
give
to
names?
to
And I'm gonna start from the start.
do a conduct review or,
going
or
back to
promote a
our previous
conduct review
conversation,
of whatever
initial
judge
which
was
we've
in charge
already
of that
done.
decision because
Art,
most likely they had a conflict
Hallow,
of interest.
Sparks, Spade, Falconer, Grayson, female Grayson.
Did you say Arcadia?
Yeah.
Anyone have
female
food, by the way?
I just call them Bad Grayson and Better Grayson.
Which is which?
I only have one, but I'm about to starve myself.
I
There you
mean,
go.
I feel like the answer's kind of obvious.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
So you said Angel, Heart, Hallow, Spade, Grayson, Arcadia.
Yeah, I mean, fortunately for us, they're going to take the route that
I think
causes
the
more
argument
problems for
should
them.
be that they took his keys without, and I think the pointing of it should be, bro, this is the bit that let's look at this together. So the argument that Hart made was the Constitution dictates will have legislative authority, all legal, da da da. It shall ensure the enforcement of laws, is what they're leaning on. It will ensure the enforcement of laws.
Was
is what she's
enforced. He went to
pointing at.
jail. That's the enforcement of laws.
So this is the thing, though. This is where it gets. It doesn't get complicated. I feel like it's complicated for them, but that's more incompetence. The enforcement of laws inherently involves due process, and again, Serenade, you can attest to this. Both Arcadia and Falconer made it abundantly clear that they felt due process was given to Pred, and that this decision to remove him was a continuance of that court case. Unfortunately, that is not how it works, and that
You're not
is
the judge. He
it-
wasn't on stand for that.
that's the thing. He was afforded due process for the charges levied against him, but not for grounds for dismissal. And if that was a consequence of
that's
the
true.
court case, as I said earlier,
Michael's great.
Hallow would have had to have made that clear before he slammed that gavel. So he wasn't afforded due process. It's as simple as that.
Agreed. And I think we all understand it. I don't understand why the judiciary doesn't. Actually, I know why they do. Okay,
Because of the
not
lesser
trying to
of
be
power?
weird. I'm not trying to be weird, but I don't like, don't worry. Someone can strike me if I'm being weird. They literally had all their conversations on official government channels. So the problem with that is no,
Michael knows his shit, and
was
Michael's also the
all-
one who made like the whole Los
They
Santos
already know
website. Like he's
why
amazing.
they're thinking that. How do I put this? I'm alleging this is okay. Fuck, I hate this so much because I can't not address it because that's how the thing happened. The problem is that they probably are all thinking in a single pane of glass because they had a meeting, right? Let's call it. And in that meeting, they collectively came to a conclusion. And so therefore
By the
they're
state.
already
Hobat, do you mean
in their mind they've
do
already
you mean Coil?
they've already
Essentially.
given themselves the clearance to do it, right? Maybe they're basing it on the oops, sorry. Maybe they're basing it
And
on
that's
Oh, how the
Anger.
hell did I even do that?
Oh,
There we go.
he's so powerful.
Maybe they're
Okay,
basing it
gotcha.
on-
Yeah,
what I'm
no, it's
saying?
tough.
Like they already were like X, Y, and Z. We can do this, and then finger in ears, right? So the notion of due process, all these things we're bringing up, you can't penetrate it because they've already concluded. They already had a closed meeting about it. They've
100%.
already gotten a
Yeah.
blessing from the justices. Now,
Which Hobat, I see
think
that
they're
as
calling it blessing.
permission
What's
to
said is,
start a coup.
Yeah, I guess you can do it, is what the justice said. The problem is the justices are checked out. And just as like Hollow and Hart pretty much said, yeah, we signed whatever Angel asked us to, they did the same thing again here. You with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now let's to go with alongside what you're saying, Michael, we should point out, I think that, and if there's anyone's got a better idea, is we point at the Constitution, we point out the where is it? The fucking the Powers Act or whatever, right?
Judicial
And
powers,
we
yeah.
say that they function outside of those powers. I
Okay.
feel like that's the easiest way to do it, and point at the due process in the Constitution. Am I on the same
Ooh.
line of thinking as you, Michael?
Well, yeah, exactly. Let me pull that up. Hold on.
Isn't that obvious? I'm confused what they're explaining that isn't just
Wait,
like-
this is at the top, bro. I brought this up. I don't know if she read this. It literally says aims to outline and define the powers both judges and justices have while acting in an official capacity.
Yeah, but the problem is, if you go at elected judicial powers, at the end, other powers, it says that other legislation may grant elected members of the judiciary extraneous powers outside of this document. So saying other laws can give
No,
more.
you're right. But those other ones don't exist.
Yeah,
Holy fuck.
it's not defined in the Blaine County law that should be carried out by judges or justices. That
Can I
Blaine
get them
County law
to
is
reform?
horribly written.
Yep. Don't look at the rest of them because you'll get the same headache.
Yeah, I mean that sucks because also you miss out.
That-
You
it
lose
has
Blaine
so many
County, and then you
roles,
also
it's a fucking
have
insane,
a very uneven
so
council,
dumb.
right?
Naya, what line are you referring to in judicial?
I'm
powers?
still saying
It's
monarchy.
if you go elected judicial powers and you go all the way at the bottom, other powers.
But that's elected, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't that also say it has
Well,
to
it
be
says that
within the
on
limits of the Constitution,
Justice too,
which
and the other
already
ones too.
gave them those powers? Am I mistaken? I feel like I recall reading it and it saying that they are potentially given extraneous powers within the confines of what is denoted in the Constitution and other legislation.
You are correct.
Right,
Other
which
legislation
means
may
it
grant
doesn't.
justice extraneous powers outside of this document.
So unless that has been codified elsewhere, there is no other powers at all.
Well,
Yes,
that's
you are right.
that's true to an extent, but it does give them powers in one piece of
does.
legislation called
It does.
impeachments and authority conduct reviews.
Yep.
That's elected official?
That's I believe it's judges and justices.
Oh, interesting.
It also says that those powers are subject to their implementation within an individual legislation. And the Blaine
Elia.
County legislation did not
Shut up, Moose. I'm a self-insert. I know.
County
specifically
legislation can't give power to
outline.
the state. It's not possible.
Hierarchy.
Yeah.
I know
And
a
it
thing or
also
two about
didn't
hierarchy.
It didn't outline that, like, in the
was a
case
monarchy joke.
of the mayor failing, the DOJ is the one, you know.
There's also the fact, Hobat. There's also the fact,
the DOJ
as
is
far as the
standing on
impeachment thing,
The
that
two
there
legs
isn't
they have
actually
are
any
the
legislation that
Blaine
says that a
County
mayor
piece
can't
of
have a felony.
legislation,
The mayor,
and
the legislation
Michael?
specifically defines
the two pieces
that,
of legislation that they're standing
deputy
on is the
mayors
Blaine
and
County
employees of the
legislation,
mayor's
and I
office
believe it's the election
can't
one that
be
says
can't have a
you
felony.
cannot
But that
have your name put on the
generally
ballot
refers
if
to
you're a felon.
appointed officials rather
that's-
than thanks, Jackal.
That doesn't apply
Rather than
to an
elected
mayor.
officials, which is already That takes Kyle out of it.
That's their only two arguments they have to, towards the validity of the decision that they made. This is a very, very easy article of impeachment to write. Let me just boil it down to that.
You're saying for the justices.
For Grayson and Falconer.
Oh, right.
The
I thought you meant
justices-
for Kyle.
The justices is done. Oh, that's been done for
Yeah, Hobart.
days.
Oh, you want to know what the governor said, Michael?
Mm.
When I asked, "Hey, can you specify my powers?"
Mm.
And he
Yeah,
said,
Moose, it's
"You're the
obviously
authority in
medical
everything
horses
medical,"
Hobart.
And somebody contradicting that, it could literally be grounds of impeachment, right, Nino? That's literally what he said about like Angel contradicting my law there.
That's a good
Yeah,
thing
that's
I put
true.
that in the articles of impeachment for
I just
Angel.
said what the justices for an
It's
impeachment trial.
insane.
I say we get rid of the
summary
justices. I think that there's
of
been too much.
everything Is if we just, oh my god, it's like everything that this is why there's no trust in the DOJ. They keep doing fucking dumb shit.
Yeah.
And then you need the governor to come in and be like, you're being dumb.
Yeah, and he was literally like, write up those fucking impeachments. He literally said that.
Yeah.
I feel like perhaps this is a stupid question in this context, but what? Are there even checks and balances on the justices? I suppose besides the impeachment, which
Yeah, it's in
can't really
government
happen.
emails.
Oh, all right.
Fuck you.
No, it's not.
And
Like,
again,
I'm actually serious.
and
I
again,
know,
I like
know.
to state
Like,
once
it's
more,
true.
Yeah.
guillotine. Just throwing it out there again,
Can I just for transparency, we have email chains, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Oh wait, sorry. The only person that knows that is Michael and Serenade. How often do I communicate in that?
Rarely, if ever.
And what does it usually consist of?
Usually, meeting at the courthouse.
Oh, yes, we have one for Kyle too.
Yeah, I made it.
Oh yes, you are. I forgot about
I'm in
that.
nobody's email chain. I feel left out. This is fucked up.
It's Los Santos County one.
Yeah.
Just like we just post the document.
Yeah, it's just to be like, hey guys, we need to be available at this time. Yeah, you're not
We-
supposed to be making major decisions.
Wait, if you aren't in any email chains with any of us, then who's sending me these explicit pictures?
Oh,
Oh.
shut up. Did you like?
Oh yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Best concubine.
Thank you. Sorry, guys.
Wait a minute. And then we audit.
You cooking
We should-
so.
oh my god. Tony,
Ooh.
because I think we need to do multi-banded, right? We've already know how to like
We're
my
auditing
squad knows
Tony?
how to do impeachments and all that. Bro,
And
go
Nino just
audit
gives
all
over
of
it.
the Blaine
Yeah.
County shit.
Kyle is like, I need you here for your intelligence and your
No
comic relief.
Yep.
And Nino says,
You know, Price can
neither
get
of the
50
above.
signatures. Like literally audit it all.
So which one has first not done yet? Or has he only been
The-
doing it for the?
Do the one that
No one appreciates
got
me
used
like
against
Kyle
Brett.
does.
And
This is
it
why
can
if Kyle
be
says we're going to
used-
war, I'm going to war.
Okay, so let's. I want to make sure we're bullet pointing this and we don't go too deep because it's getting late, and I want to make sure at least we have a framework of attack. Obviously, this should be some of this can be revisited, but I think having a list is really good. Impeach them all, right? Are we in agreement?
Let's Jeff. Oh
that
my
they-
god.
Am I?
Well, I
tell
don't know
me
if you
I'm
guys have
wrong,
been
and
around
please
long
do
enough,
tell me
but
if I'm wrong, 'cause I wanna know
the first time we ever interacted with Naya, the princess had
states
a
the
lot of
legis-
feelings.
For judicial powers codified, it says the
A
legislation
lot of feelings very
aims
quickly.
to outline and define the powers both judges and justices have while acting in an official capacity. Define, by definition, hate to use the same word in the same thing,
Mm.
is another way of saying bounding, right?
Sure.
That this
Bounding?
document,
Leaps
by
and
that
bounds?
first sentence, says everything in here binds what they can and cannot
That's
do.
not what bounding means. It'd be binding.
The only line in here that infers that they have powers outside of
Andy
this.
Osvaldo. Oh, the war at the university.
states
I forgot about that.
Where's the line?
Other powers. Final line under elected judicial powers, or any
Yes.
section.
Other legislation may grant
We'll watch the
which it
clip after.
doesn't. Those powers are subject to those implementation within the individual legislation. A justice may grant an elected
Well, I'm glad you
judge
did, Hobet.
additional responsibility.
I think it was from Carby, right?
None of this.
It was when we were
power
talking about the
was
subathon, because I
defined
remember you mentioning
in
the
that document.
art stream,
It
how you'd like
simply
an art
says
stream.
they have to be removed. It doesn't say a judge. It doesn't even say that. Is they need to be within good standing. They don't. I don't believe that this infers that. Other legislation may grant members of the judiciary extraneous powers outside of the document, which it doesn't. Those powers are subject to their implementation within the individual legislation. A justice may also grant an appointed judge additional responsibility. So inherently, the Blaine County legislation does not grant.
I feel
them
like
powers, right? Am I right or wrong?
arguing
It
over
can't.
specifics and semantics of legislation
Even if it
is
could,
not
and I
effective,
get
not
your
because
point,
it wouldn't be
right?
in
But I'm
real
being
life, it wouldn't be
pedantic
effective, but
intentionally.
specifically just
Yeah.
because
In the
so
assumption
much
that it can, or
isn't
that it can. Are you asking
effectively
if the
written
language
down?
gives
Yes,
them the power?
if it could, does
Yes,
it?
everyone followed the Carby.
And the answer is
um,
no, because it simply says
like, Nino's arguing over like specific words.
Wait.
Misuses a
wait.
word, that's a
You're
good point.
right. It says, should any member of the Blaine County Mayor's Office be found to no longer maintain good standing regarding their criminal record, they will be removed from their position. Additionally, the mayor of Blaine County, which if the second sentence is a continuation of the first, it implies that the authority this legislation grants is to the mayor.
I mean, are you telling me the members
Yes,
of Blaine
it's
County's mayor's
Ground-
office legislation?
exactly.
Well, ultimately,
mean-
that's where the authority comes from.
Yeah.
Is the mayor. It's the same thing as the sheriff.
Right.
It's not the same thing as the sheriff, though,
Well,
because
it's different positions. But
So,
right,
my
but
point
the
is
sheriff
that-
is part of the sheriff's office. The mayor's not part of the mayor's office. It specifically doesn't the legislation specifically state employees,
Oh,
aka people who are under Kyle's payroll. So that's not him. He is the employer by
Oh,
definition.
exactly. Even people that are not even related to this conversation has called me and be like, do they know they fucked up? Because the entire legislation is about the people within that cabinet that he
Yeah.
appoints. It literally, like, even the introduction, from the introduction under to the details, and then literally the positions they labeled out.
Listen to this argument.
Like, you guys
Yeah,
just
I mean,
brought
they
up the
keep
second
going.
sentence, additionally with the
It's not
mayor
just that
stuff,
it's
like,
too much. It's just like
I don't
there
get
is
what type of
no-
mental gymnastics
Wait
they
a
went through.
minute.
outlined.
How are they determining the mayor is a part of the?
That's crazy,
not.
Nino.
They're
That's
just
so
reading
crazy.
parts that they like, and they just nitpicking.
Oh my god! Wait,
Yeah, that's how
what
bad it
the
is.
fuck?
How did he just realize this?
Did they let the
Is that
governor
not-
read the
is this
legislation that
different
they
to
used
the-
to
never
push
mind.
Fred out?
We mentioned it
This-
to him.
By definition,
It's not for Fred.
all positions.
But even
held
if they do
within the
impeachment,
office will have equal standing to
legislation-
one another and under the mayor.
Yeah, under the mayor.
Therefore, by definition, all positions are referencing things under the mayor.
Exactly.
It is in the.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, I'm gonna.
Talking about 4 hours
I'm.
Wait, this is why
Yeah.
it doesn't mention the mayor at all in
Yeah,
the category.
exactly. I brought that up to
Exactly.
Falconer.
Because it's the
afterwards,
difference
and he was
between
like,
elected
"It is
officials
what it
versus
is."
appointed.
It's not what it is. What it is, brother. Like
Shit.
this is
No,
like.
that's exactly why I'm pissed about it because Falconer said it was.
This
it
makes
is
it
what
much
is.
easier.
Yeah.
Oh,
Literally, the
do,
legislation
like
has
this
nothing
is
to do with Fred.
basic logic class, right? Where you have to define variables, right? You say A, B. I don't know. I'm literally having like an aneurysm right now because I genuinely was operating under the fact that okay, maybe this wasn't. I didn't have a chance to read this.
The unfortunate thing is
neither
that we're not actually. The issue isn't whether we can prove it logically, because yes, we can. The issue is, can justices, little pea brains, actually accept that and see it as the truth, or will they find little snaky ways to move around it, like they have been and continue to do.
This is such a bad faith reading. I'm just gonna read this out loud one more time, just because I want to make sure.
Guys, I'm
not cooked here.
face palming IRL. I know
In
my
order to read this
thing is not
document,
working.
you need to read it from top to bottom. And therefore, any
Guys,
line
that's
in
how
here,
reading
you need
works.
To read, extrapolate what the meaning is.
Guys.
behind it,
Guys, I just
in
want to point
order
this out
to
right now.
Understand what follows it.
Generally,
This
if
is
you're
the
reading
same manner by
English,
which
you
the
should
Constitution, when read,
probably
tells
read
us
it top
that
to bottom.
The,
If you're reading
fucking,
bottom to top,
the law enforcement agency
you
that
might
operates
not
within
get
DOJ
the point of the.
is not
You might
the,
not get the information. Just saying.
that bullshit that we had to deal with a while back. I'm
If you're
gonna reference
reading
it just real quick.
bottom to top,
It's the same way that we know
it's
that
gonna read
in
backwards.
the line that reads,
I'm just
"The
throwing that out
DOJ
there.
shall have a law enforcement agency that is responsible for overseeing other law enforcement offices."
What?
That the reading of that the following line, they are also responsible for preserving
Right
the
to left,
integrity,
correct? Yes,
is referencing
absolutely.
The DOJ.
I mean,
Because you're
correct
utilizing
left to
basic
right,
English
B to
grammar.
supposed it's. Green mister.
Basic
Read
English
you way the
grammar
maybe
follows a particular
jackal the.
syntax, right? You cannot make your own syntax for the English language. So, with that being said, now let us go and read this members
It
of
do
Blaine
way the
County-
not.
members of Blaine County Mayor's Office.
Guys, it says of.
No one
Guys, oh my
accomplishes
god,
anything
if you read it
alone.
bottom to
And Blaine County is
top,
no different.
it says
Legislation
faux.
by-
I thought it said faux,
I'm just skipping
but it
over
said
anything that's
of.
not really
Relevant. to it.
Man says read it top to
Relevant, yeah.
bottom and then skips over the irrelevant parts.
in this.
What the fuck? I read the
Blaine
spiral
County,
starting from the middle
mayor
of the
Blaine
page.
County owns legislative authority over the district and is responsible for the governance, including all positions held within the office of the mayor will be of equal standing to one another and under the mayor.
Duh! I thought they were
So
over
all
the mayor because I read it
positions-
upside down. I thought the mayor was
positions
under the
And
other
the
one.
details being referenced
What?
are of the ones that are under the mayor. That is the subject.
I'm not gonna do that,
of this
Dem.
document.
Dem, that'd be so funny, but I'm not gonna do it because it feels so mean.
To interview for one of these positions,
At some point, Kiva was
Okay.
dying how easy
It
it should have
then
been to get
goes
around
and
it.
lists
Guy, Hobet, it's because they read it bottom to top.
Two positions. And then it says,
That's why.
should any member of the Blaine County
Oh my
mayor's
God,
office
Jackal.
still in the
Not the-
same block
Not the
of
ARG
details
joke.
be found to
S-
no longer
s-
maintain
s-
good standing regarding their
what?
criminal record,
Whoa.
they will be removed from their position. The
Whoa.
removal is inherently a removal from the mayor, who's
The
done the
removal
interview.
from the mayor. I thought the mayor was gonna be removed
the
from
mayor
the
of Blaine
mayor.
County reserves the right to remove.
Guys, you've
any
been the right to
person-
remove the person. Duh.
Wait!
Wait.
Should any member can be removed. And then the following sentence, additionally, the mayor of Blaine County
Oh my God.
reserves the right to remove any person who
That
holds one
was
of the
not said
affirmative
before.
reasons they
He
see
said
fit,
that for the first time.
provided that the dismissal.
It was the next sentence. He said that
What?
sentence first. What? No, I totally get it, Phantom. But you think after like 5 hours of this. And for the record, I'm not dissing anyone. It's hard to do this shit in character, and you know, and I totally get it. This is new information for all of us. What?
So basically, the judges went, blah, 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 blah. The mayor's part of the mayor's office. He's out. Because they read one sentence.
Andy?
And then what they said after that was, they said, it's just like the sheriff in the sheriff's office. The sheriff is part of the sheriff's office, which
Yeah, that's
is just a false comparison. That's not the same thing.
I'm going to sleep, guys.
Okay,
You're not going to go shout at Russians?
No, I can't. Like I genuinely.
Because they read bottom
Do
to top.
not
The Russians. We know this. The
want
Russians, they
to-
read bottom
this
to top.
is
That's
so-
probably where
this-
that's
okay.
probably where he's getting confused.
Brief. Yeah.
I was operating under the
Every
this
page
entire
of you is
time, I've
perfect
been
from the
operating
bottom
under
to
the-
the top.
This is why-
believe that this document actually stated the mayor has to be in good standing.
This is why I've said from the beginning, what do you mean you're putting another candidate out there? Like,
Because I
obviously
assumed,
he's not
like,
going to get
of
impeached because the
course,
law
no
doesn't
one's
state
gonna,
that he gets
you know,
impeached.
make shit up.
But
And
I was
the
like, why are they
entire
still talking about
issue that
putting
I
another
had from the very
person
beginning
worst
is
case
like,
scenario? Like,
bro,
what do you
due
mean
process.
by that?
Do it in the fucking city. You know what I mean? Like, fucking put it up on, like, put up a thing tomorrow, a hearing,
process.
whatever. What with the thing?
The
that we've been
integrity of their
fucking asking
constitutional
in
government.
for,
Hey,
right?
Jackal,
For things to happen.
there's
in
too
the
many
city, for
parallels. Stop
people
it.
to debate.
And you
and
know we
bring
can't
up their
handle parallels
disagreements
because we'll
and-
read them
and
bottom to
whatever.
top.
And just put it up. Just put a receipt. So we
I
can-
can't with that.
people can
I
do
can't with
something
that.
it.
Guys,
Not
you have
some-
to read it top
the
to
same
bottom.
fucking horse crap.
Oh my
of
God.
Waving the magical wand and pretending your coup holiday, or pretending your artson, or pretending your oh my God,
Integrity of
what?
their
I've been
constitution.
forgetting his name recently, even though fucking love the guy. Help me here,
Kyle?
Serenade.
Kyle?
Coyote?
No. Labar.
Labar.
The bar. I
Kyle's
mean,
alright.
Rabol.
Um,
Because it's backwards.
and now I'm realizing that this is like failing a fifth grade like reading comprehension.
Why not have Naya's number?
Please, anyone in this circle, please tell me I am wrong and that I'm missing something. Like,
No, we've
please,
come to the
genuinely.
same
No,
conclusion.
it's yeah.
Michael,
know,
we've come to the
This is
same
really a
conclusion.
continuation
Yeah,
of the
like 2
same,
hours ago.
like, below 5th grade level type of comprehension we've had since the case.
How though?
It can't
I
be
don't-
overturned by
like,
anyone. but-
I
well,
genuinely don't want to do this anymore after reading this.
Do what?
I'm
At the end of the day,
Like
people
any of
just
this.
reason themselves into a corner saying, it says the mayor's office, he's the mayor, he's part of it, and we'll take that one line and just go through with it. Because at no point, if you went from top to bottom, you would reason that the mayor should be held to this.
Jackal.
Are they around? I genuinely want to ask, like,
I'll be real, Nino. I brought it up to Falconer in a half-assed way because I only read like bits and pieces. I was like, wait, this doesn't make sense. It only says under the mayor. He was like, well, it still applies to him. He's part of the mayor's office. I was like, are you sure this isn't how it's reading?
okay, none of this thing. We shouldn't even been debating this entire time. This is like reading.
Were we
comprehension.
debating?
Never mind. I this.
Were we? Is that what
I
we were
don't wanna
doing?
be really
Because I didn't
mean,
think
but
we were
this is, like,
debating.
really bad.
I think
and
he's.
I don't have nice things to say.
Is that what? Were we debating this whole time?
Serenade, look, you've been a judge for a while.
Mm,
Am I missing something? Please tell me.
I don't believe so.
You guys have a good night. I'll be around
Later,
tomorrow
Nino.
at some point.
I'll
Toodaloo.
start writing. Hey, anyone want to take my gun and kill me?
Michael,
No,
when
don't
you,
hammer
Can't
I,
be like
you're,
that, Roselle.
so we're
I'm
all
sorry,
under
don't
the
let the
same
paperwork.
impression that he
Mm.
just figured out what we were talking about this entire time.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, let me tell you why we just figured this out.
Because he was reading
was-
it bottom to top.
Well, because it's like it was just like, oh, but look at this line and then look at this line, and we
Yeah.
got there and we both didn't know what was going on, so we are also finding out what's going on at that
Yeah,
moment.
so they
Together with the
basically
justices, it was
they
Oh,
guided
really?
you to a false premise, just like the judges did with us when we first saw them walk out. Because we're like, how can this happen? Oh, well, look at this legislation. Okay, now look at this line. Okay, that's odd, but he's not. The mayor's office under him. No, he's part of the mayor's office. Really? What about this line of people being under him? Well, it still applies to the mayor's office. He's part of it.
That's why the question
Okay.
isn't whether the legislation actually states what they say it states, is whether they can just make up things and have it work out, because that's what they've been doing, and that's what
Isn't
they'll
the whole
continue to
premise
do.
of this whole like bad faith interpretation is what led up to the SAG document. Like,
Yeah.
they're doing the same
Yeah.
thing again.
Basically.
Well,
Oh, for
the
sure.
other thing, Tony, is that the mayor's office as a construct doesn't exist at the state level. For all intents and purposes, the state really only recognizes elected officials.
It's like an SOP almost. Yeah.
It
Yeah,
is.
that's how it reads.
It is
Not that I
exactly
read
that.
SLP before.
Yeah.
That's why I was
Whatever
able
that's
to
gonna
put
call
executive order. Kyle's committees were not dependent on legislation because he can just decide who works under him.
Right. Exactly.
Because at some point, I think we talked about it too while we were waiting outside of the meeting room, was either this legislation is legal or what they did was legal. Because as a county level legislation, this actually is okay. Grammatically, some
It's
tweaking is
incredibly
needed,
frustrating.
but it seems like
Yeah, Jackal, it
intent and the
is. It's
scope
just like
is for
that
the
because
people
it's like
under the
they're just
mayor,
making shit
which
up, but
isn't
no matter
wrong.
how much logic we
just doesn't
use,
need to
it
be
doesn't
legislation.
it doesn't prevent them
Yeah.
from continuing to make
That's
shit
the
up.
other
I will say that when we gave this legislation to the governor, we also gave the Kyle's docket from, Saturday, the judicial powers codifying the impeachment legislation. When he came back, he wasn't like, "Oh yes, this county law is is trying to supersede, state law, and this is not allowed." He didn't say that. He said that the impeachment law says that it can be done by impeachment, not that it has to. He seemed kind of on the fence about this actual that actual part, but he was also like, if you want to send more stuff, I want to see authority reviews, I want to see, impeachment. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think this is the best
The
we
issue
can
is
do, right?
even yes, there still has to be the issue of the judges addressed because if there's an impeachment hearing, even if it goes perfectly, and we say all of the things that were said here multiple times, and that the legislation clearly doesn't state that the mayor has to not have felonies and all of that, if they're the ones making the ruling, they'll just continue to have bad faith the way they have.
So that's why I think Nino laid out the process.
Guillotine.
We filed the
Right.
articles of impeachment. We filed a writ of prohibition against the justices, which restricts their ability to do anything. And then
Right.
all of this goes to the governor.
And we need to set up interim whatever. Nino turned to me in that meeting and he said, "Naya, what do you think about, in the absence of a Blaine County Mayor de Los Santos mayor takes over?" And I was gonna answer. I was like, and then he said, "Wait, actually, why don't we both do it?" And I will say, from the purpose of writing something down, you
I don't like
can't
it. I
argue
don't like that.
it's the two elected bodies, and that they have to be unanimous. It kind of
That does make sense.
writes a decent precedent
The justice's POV.
that obviously works.
Oh, for
pretty
sure, they're
well.
giving different perspectives.
To
But I think I've disagreed with
to
the justices on
amend
a
the
lot of different
legislative
things.
process in any way, it would have to be at the state level. And we don't have the power to do that without a mayor in
A
Blaine
guillotine.
County.
Oh.
So I get the intent, but the TOJ would have to enact that legislation.
And there is no
not
precedent for
us.
succession because Ajax said that the precedent was set when Andy Jones allowed Eve Summers to take over. However, the judges in there said that that wasn't true.
Eve Summers didn't even take over. She wasn't even mayor.
Yeah, so that's there
All right,
was
but
no precedent.
I suppose in her
think-
absence, the deputy mayor, as deputy mayor, continues to do their duties, or no?
No, because Eve Summers was an appointed deputy mayor, and I remember because I was
Oh, really?
campaigning at the time, and I called her, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do this wheat law. Would you be okay
Guillotine.
to sign it?" She's like,
Guillotine.
"Oh, I'm not
Jackal,
even
well, we
mayor,
did that
technically.
chant
I'm
in
not sure."
purple,
So
and
she
it got us
wasn't even
stabbed.
operating
so.
as the mayor
Yeah.
because she.
All right.
And that's the issue. For the sake of the DOJ, they don't consider a person to be in the position until they put the tag in their MDT profile.
All right.
It's kind of horseshit.
It is horseshit.
Especially
So
in
let something
appointed position.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Night, Phantom.
I'm going to bed. I am going to write up 7 articles of impeachment tomorrow.
If you need help, you can
So proud.
reach me in Kyle's email chain.
Yeah, will do.
See, I
I'll
would
make
say I
sure
want to
everything-
fall from a great height, but I can do that very easily. Toodaloo.
A similar thing happened in France this one time. Okay, Jackal. No need to make historical notions at me. Disagree with them being too firm on the county versus state law and saying figure it out. The thing is, it's just a bad system. And that's a fully in character statement. Like, it's a, I mean, as in, I'm making the statement as Leah, but stating that the in character system made by characters is a bad system. Because there's so many things that aren't laid out. Like, if you say, you know, like, oh, you know, these, like, there are simply no checks and balances for the justices. Because, like, yeah, sure, you can have a thing that's like, oh, these are the judicial powers codified, right? These are what the justices can do, these are what the justices can't do. But you know what isn't laid out in that is what happens if they don't follow those. Where is the check on that power beyond articles of impeachment, which don't even really make sense because based on the impeachment laws, it's the judges who are appointed by the justices who then get to choose whether they're impeached or not. So it's essentially them speaking to their own boss, which is, there's a word for that. It's like Miranda rights, but it's like the Miranda rights, but for specifically when you are talking to your boss. Like, you don't have to incriminate yourself when you're talking to your superior. I forget what it's called. No, it's not Miranda rights. It's the other thing. It's like, it starts with a G or a something. It's like, I have my something of something. Jackal, do you know what it is? Angel should have been impeached. Yeah. Yeah, well, it sucks, but I think that it doesn't... Angel versus Kyle destroyed everything? Huh. I think it's... The puppet mayor has always been a thing, right? 3.0, 4.0, I don't know anything before that, but maybe it was the same. The mayor can't really do anything without the help of the, like, mechanical ways of doing those things. And if you have another branch of characters who are responsible for having those in-character abilities, then you end up with a system that is unable to function because it is simply a dictatorship. Yeah, not to incriminate yourself. Garrity right, that's what it is. The Garrity. Yes, particularly for public employees known as the Garrity rights, stems from the Fifth Amendment, but it means that a public employer cannot force an employee to answer questions that could incriminate them during an investigation under threat of termination. So 3.0 mayor had far more power than today, and yet still, like, I remember I was a big Blaustoise watcher when Mickey was mayor, and there was so much that, like, he was so excited to change as mayor, and then he realized that there's really nothing that he could do except steal the money. Not that that wasn't his plan from the start, but, like, what you can do as mayor involves giving money to people, you know, and stuff like that. But what people want you to do as mayor, and why people vote for the mayor, is because they say things like, I'm going to create legal moonshine distilleries, which require like in-server changes by admins to actually make those things happen. And so those things end up being false promises. And so the only thing Crane was one to stop it from going too far beyond the mechanics. Yeah, I mean, the mayor can do illegal things and has always been able to do. Like you can become mayor and then do impeachable things. You can steal money, you can embezzle, things like that. And whether it's successful or not, whatever. But when it comes to actual legal things that you can do, what the mayor should be able to do is make executive orders, build infrastructure, things like that. Even legislate, considering there's no legislative branch. But without any checks on that, or sorry, I drifted off and I forgot what I was saying. Without being able to make mechanical changes, the only things that they can do as mayor, here's the way to say it. The only things that the mayor can do as mayor, the mayor can also do as not mayor. Like if I wanted to start Toga Tuesdays, I could do that. You know? Yeah, building the army. That's different. That's the whole thing. Yeah. And that's why I think that honestly, the best system might just be for the mayor to be an admin who consistently plays a character, because I think the issue you'd have with that is that I think that, having a president, let's say, and have it be an admin, even if it destroys any, elective whatever, maybe you have a Senate made of players, but the Senate can't do anything without going through the president. And the president has the ability to veto things. That way you have community members or players being able to come up with ideas and legislative ideas, and then the president, who is an admin, can veto them and won't veto them based on whether he wants them or not, but based on whether they're plausible or not. So if the Senate says we want to create a building, that's different. The U.S. has a similar problem in its constitution. Judges and justices can be impeached by Congress, and the trial is held by the Senate. The Constitution requires that the Chief Justice preside over an impeachment trial if the individual is being impeached by the President. But if I recall correctly, the Chief Justice has presided over every impeachment trial. Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, a lot of the justices deserve to be impeached. No, Jackal, you're so right. Because, that's also like, even though my character is a monarchist who has a background in royalty, my background is in U.S. history and U.S. Politics. A little bit of Eastern European politics from my time abroad, but, most of it is U.S. politics. And yes, there's a lot of things that are problems there. But I also think that there's a lot of things that, because there are problems there, can be avoided in a little fake world. Also, background in U.S. politics? Hell yeah. Yeah, I have a degree in political science, and most of it was, 3 years of it was in, U.S. politics and also international politics, and then, just in, my U.S. school. But then I also did a year abroad in Prague, where I studied Eastern European politics, and, post-communism. Bloodlands? I can't read Medical Horseshoe Bet. All right, I keep reading these books, but they're all, bottom to top, and so they just don't really make any sense to me. Land's Blood by Snyder Timothy? Never heard of it. Interesting Soapy Wood Politics European Learning. I don't know. I listened to it upside down, so I struggled with that. You ever listen to something upside down? Oh my god, that was a lot. I can't wait to talk to Kyle about this. That's gonna be funny. Cause I was confused when they were like, yeah, who are we gonna put in as the mayor if they do elections? And I'm like, you guys are just giving up on the whole like fact that the impeachment is clearly not gonna go through because there's so many reasons why it doesn't make sense. And also, I was like, you know, I was gonna bring up before Nino discovered the legislation. I was gonna bring up the fact that, like, no one's ready to mention that if Kyle gets impeached for real, and it's completely unjust, and he isn't given due process, you can elect someone else as mayor of Blaine County, but Kyle is going to war. Like, you're gonna end up having to deal with an army of Predcoats. And the princess will be there with them. For sure. Yeah, 100 book career. Hell yeah, Hobat. I used to read a ton of books competitively because I was in like a reading Olympics team. And then I turned into a idiot. Poli-sci sociology. Oh, hell yeah. U.S. law. Wait, where are you from, Jackal? You took abroad in the U.S. Went into puppet mayor mode. The thing is, Nino, like, says like a lot of things, and then starts thinking about what he's gonna say next while everyone else is talking, and then when he says the next thing, it's like the thing that was said before that by someone else, but he was already thinking about the thing he was gonna say next. You know? Yeah, Mr. Green, like, I was like, no one's ready to talk about that, but like you can say like, oh, we're gonna put Serenade into office. You know, and he'll be the mayor. And I was like, you're talking about this without Kyle here, but there will be no Blaine County mayor's office if Kyle gets impeached without due process. There will be a war front, is what there'll be. There will be trenches. And probably Wakandan tanks. And I'll be there singing Les Mis. Warlord! Meltdown! Meltdown! American #1! So yes, you know how we were playing Room Where It Happens so much earlier? I've decided, retrospectively, I do not want... I'm very, very glad I was not a part of the Room Where It Happens, and I do not ever want to be in the Room Where It Happens again. Because it sounds like it was shit in there. Sounds like nothing happened in there. You're Irish? Oh, Jackal, hell yeah. It was awful. I'm sorry you had to sit through that, Mr. Green. I mean, you didn't have to. I'm sorry you chose to do that. Are we cousins or something? Maybe. Maybe. You chose to do that to yourself. I mean, to be fair, Jackal, I say my degree was in poli-sci, but that was one of my 4 degrees because I couldn't choose. I got a Bachelor's of Art in English, History, Philosophy, and Political Science. Because I was like, fuck it. It is so deeply depressing. Have you guys read, was it Jonathan Swift or Daniel Defoe? It was one of those two who did the treatise on, like, it was like a satirical work on poverty in Ireland about how everyone should start eating children. That's one of my favorite works of satire, like, historically. That's the English major in me coming out. Coming out to my English teacher probably, because that's how every English major is born, is coming out to their English teacher. A Modest Proposal, that's the one. I always get confused between Defoe and Swift because everyone's like, oh, but one of them was actually the other one, but then actually both of them are pseudonyms and neither of them was a real person. I don't know. Yes, the Modest Proposal on the state of something in the place of whatever. They had very long names of things. I remember reading that and being like, wow, this is the birth of satire. I think I wrote a whole thing on it. I forgot though. Philosophy, political science, economics, and sociology? Dude! That's funny. I couldn't pick, and every time someone asked me, like, why did you do 4 majors? Why did you have 4 degrees? I was like, it's liberal arts, it doesn't really count. Okay, guys, it's 3 in the morning. I'm gonna try and go to sleep so I can wake up early enough to talk to Kyle tomorrow if he streams. Who knows? But, whether or not that works, I still want to sleep. Everyone give your pets extra love tonight. Or this morning, or whatever time it is for you. Thank you all for being around. Thanks for hanging out with me. I would send you over to someone, but I don't know who's sticking around and who's gonna start. Who's, You sent another photo in Discord? Oh, look at the dear friend. It's her dear friend. It's her dear friend. Oh, that's cute. I think Dr. Lauren Scott. I don't know. I said doctors. The Lauren Scott is still streaming on Prodigy, so I'm going to send you guys over there. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Go give Lauren Scott some love and some frolics and some Ember Bops. Just because I'm really excited about the new emote and I demand that you show it to everyone. But yeah, appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for being around. I have to remember to pause the timer. There we go. 23 more hours. That's 2 more days, okay? And it'll be done after that. Right? Nothing new. All done. All right. I will see you guys soon. Toodaloo.